our circular system can be separated into three sections: heart, blood vessels, and blood. First, we discuss about the heart. The next part is the blood vessel. Blood vessels are the pathways of the blood inside the body. There are three types of blood vessels in the human body. One is called arteries, other one veins, other one capillaries. Arteries, veins, and capillaries are the blood vessels. If you can remember, I explained that arteries always transport blood away from the heart. Right? Arteries. Example, pulmonary artery carries blood to the lungs. Aorta, largest artery in the body, carries blood to the body. Therefore, arteries always carries blood away from the heart. Veins takes blood into the heart. Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, pulmonary veins. They are veins. They carry blood to the heart. Capillaries, they are present surrounding our tissues and organs. They are the blood vessels which connect the arteries and veins. Because we have a closed system. Our system is closed. Arteries, veins, and capillaries should be interconnected. They should be interconnected. How? When the arteries supply blood to the body, so they forms the capillaries, and those capillaries again collected to form the veins and takes blood to the heart. Understood? This is how it happens now. Now, these are the arteries. Arteries, heart. From the heart, they carries blood. Arteries. Right? The arteries. Then the arteries make branches. The small branches, they are named as arterioles. Arterioles. Then arterioles again branch into capillaries. Capillaries are present surrounding the body tissues. Body cells, tissues and organs, capillaries. These capillaries again, they connect together and forms the blood vessels. It's called venules. Venules, they will connect with the vein, which carries blood to the heart. Right? So these are the pump blood away from the to the body. Then arteries takes that blood to the body. Then they branch into arterioles. Then arterioles branch into capillaries, and they make networks. The network of capillaries present surrounding the organs. They are red color. They are capillaries. Skin එක ගොඩක් සුදු විනා ඔයාලගේ මේ අත්වල මේ legs වල එහෙම බලන්න පුළුවන් capillaries තියෙනවා. මේ චූටි in the skin මම කිව්වේ සුදු විනා බලන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. බැරුව ඇති කාටවත් පේන්නේ නැතුව ඇති මං හිතන්නේ. සුදු අයගේ විතරයි පේන්නේ. මම බලනවා හුඟ කාලෙක ඔය මගේ නෑ. මේ මගේ නෑනේ. හැබැයි we can see the blood vessel. මේ veins නම් පේනවා. මේ මගේ නම් පේනවා veins හොඳට. Veins. Normally, we can see the veins. We can't see the arteries directly. Why? Arteries are normally present internally. And veins are normally present at the external, the area of the body structures. Veins mean good. Again, that is for the protection. If artery is damaged, can you imagine how the bleeding can occur? Because the pressure in the artery is so high. When the blood pumped by the heart, it creates a big pressure. So then they make networks surrounding the tissues and organs. And why they make network? Why they are making these narrow tubes? I mean, narrow to increase the surface area. Because that is the place where the substance get exchanged. When the blood carries oxygen, the oxygen diffuses into the cells. When the blood carries nutrients, they exchange into the, they are given into the cells. But when the tissue has carbon dioxide, they will diffuse into the blood. And for this exchange process, it requires to increase the surface area. That is why the capillaries are making networks surrounding the organs. Okay, the exchange of the materials. Then after that, again they will connect it into the venules and take the blood to the heart bed. Understood? These are the three types of blood vessels and the connections. And the other thing is, when we consider the differences among the arteries, veins, and capillaries, arteries have a very thick wall and narrow lumen. Lumen can where the blood transport. Thick wall is there. Thick and elastic wall. Why it is so thick? It is to withstand the high pressure generated by the heart. Because arteries always carries blood away from the heart. Then always the arteries have high pressure blood. And to tolerate that pressure, arteries should have a thick wall. Okay, now shopping bag එකක් වගේ වුණා නම් එකපාරට ටොක්ගයි නේද? ඔව්. ඒතකොට angels ලා පෙනේ. එච්චරයි. ඊට පස්සේ then that is why they have a thing and it is elastic. You know that the arteries carries the blood as pulses. Blood is transport as pulses. Why? During one heartbeat, one pulse. Even heartbeat again, the blood pump in the heart. So therefore, the blood is pumped like this in the arteries. Pulse. So then to make a pulse, a high pressure area. Therefore, there is a particular feature of this artery to expand window. That is why it has elastic wall. It has elastic wall. Elastic wall, the big, the thick wall and narrow lumen. And remember, there are no valves inside the arteries except aorta and pulmonary artery. There's a valve at the beginning of the pulmonary artery. What is that valve? There's a valve. What is that valve? Pulmonary valve. There's a valve beginning at the aorta. Aortic valve. Both are named as semilunar valves. There's no any other place where the valves present in the arteries. There are no valves inside the arteries. The next one, the vein has thin wall, the wider lumen. Wall like a thin because there is no big pressure in the vein. Because the vein's function is to transport blood to the heart. There is no big pressure inside the vein. You know how these veins carries blood to the heart? Because it is not getting any support from the heart. Heart then think about the blood in my leg. It has to transport against the gravity to the heart. Gravity against entire blood. And how it supplies? Heart squeeze no. Because of muscle contraction. Why? So these veins are present within the muscles. There are muscles. Right? Muscles staining. And also inside the veins, there are valves. Valves. Right? The valves are present inside the vein. You know the function of a valve. What is the function of a valve? Exactly. Yes. Prevent the backflow of blood. Function of valve is preventing the backflow of blood. Then here what happened? These valves also preventing the backflow of blood. Then what happened? Because of the muscle contraction. Because of the muscle contraction on a blood then can it return back? No, because of the valve it stopped. Again the muscle contract in this place. Again blood squeezing up. Again prevent the backflow. Again move up. Slowly the blood is coming through the vein towards the heart. That is how the veins are transporting the blood inside the body. So then, the people who are standing for longer time can be fainted. Faintලා වැටෙන්න පුළුවන්. ගොඩක්ලා හිටගෙන හිටියොත් අපි මෙහෙම මොකක්වත් හෙලවෙන්නේ නැතුව. ඔය assembly වලම වැටෙන්නේ. නේ? assembly වලම වැටෙන්නේ මේ valves වල ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෙමෙයි. නේ? Why? Because blood flow is less. Why? Less muscle contraction. Less muscle contraction. Therefore, blood supply to the brain as well as towards the heart is less. ඒකයි යා faint වෙන්නේ. Do not have a thick wall, but it has a larger lumen as well as inside the vein there are valves. Okay. The other one is the capillary. Capillaries are the smallest blood vessel and they are made up of single wall thickness cell. Their wall is single cell thickness. When we study the capillary wall, the wall is single cell thickness. Ekka cell ekai thickness එක. ඇයි? Why is that? What is the reason for having a single cell thick wall? Increase the diffusion rate. Because diffusion can happen in minimum distances. And to support the diffusion process, these capillaries have very thin walls. එනිසා මෙයාට පුළුවන් exchange කරන්න very easily the things with the tissues and the cells. That is why they are very narrow. And also they are narrow කියන්නේ කොච්චර narrowද? So they are when we measure the width of a capillary, that equal to the width of the red blood cell even. Red blood cells මෙහෙම පේලියට යන්නේ යනකොට capillary එක ඇතුලේ. මෙහෙම යන්නේ. line එකකට. අර එක්කේ පහු කර අනිත් එක්කනට යන්න බෑ එහෙම. ඒ කියන්නේ that much of narrow there. The width of the capillary. Understood? So then the capillaries always increase the surface area surrounding the tissues. So in which places we have most capillaries? Body එකේ කොහෙද වැඩිපුරම capillaries තියෙන්නේ අපි? One is in the lungs. Why? To get more oxygen for the oxygenation process. Right? Other one, kidneys to filter the waste substances. Other one, brain to supply good blood to the brain function. Understood? Arteries have thick wall, narrow lumen, elastic wall, no valves. Correct? Veins, they have thin wall, wider lumen, have valves. Capillaries, single cell thickness and narrower. And high surface area is created. Okay? Understood?